to overcome, now that God has placed in your heart how to defeat the enemy, you feel like you got the victory. But what about the broken heart? Are you happy? Oh, okay, I canceled them out. Is everybody meant to be canceled out of your life? Is some people meant to stay? There's a lot of broken relationships out here between father and son, mother and daughter, nieces, nephews, uncles. We're all included in this. There's broken relationships even going to a particular store because you don't want to run into that particular cashier. It's a lot of broken relationships. It's broken relationships even within the church. Some people will not return to church because some things have been broken with the church mother, the person, like the elders of the church, the pastor of the church, the first lady of the church. There are a lot of broken relationships, but how do we get the victory? How do we remain focused? Are we to rejoice just because, oh, I got them back? Is it about tit for tat? How do we move on? Are we in a place where we are so desolated, destitute to remain stuck to be like, oh, I got them? Is it about a tit for tat? How would God see us? If God is the one that's judging us, what's in our hearts? I have seen some people in relationships to feel like I can only be fulfilled if I'm with this person. I can only be fulfilled if I'm talking to this person. I can only be fulfilled if I'm spewing out negativity. I can only be fulfilled if I go back 20 years ago. All of the negativity. But what happens once we walk away? Are we supposed to reconnect with these people? How do we figure out to have a forgiving heart? Is it about having a forgiving heart? Is it about continuously bringing up the past? I will admit, I am guilty. I am the type, I will bring up the past. I don't care if it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But you know what? After I
Stop
do,
bringing up, bringing up the past.
but do you think like sometimes y'all that can be a healing phase when you do bring up the past, or does it put you back in a stuck
You have
position?
to soften your heart. A hard heart is what people have, and that's why they can't get over that hump because their heart remains hard.
I can admit that. And before you know it, you are stuck in gunk and you cannot move forward. How, can somebody admit that their heart has hardened against certain
In these days and
situations?
times, excuse me, in these days and times, you're going to need a lot of people that you might not think that you don't need, but you will.
But what about the people that have canceled out people and now that people want to come back? They want to say, yo, I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? Does people need to ask for forgiveness from people? How does people move on from broken relationships? Should you ask?
It's almost normal that people have broken relationships because of the times that we're in. So we're going to have problems like that. The times that we're in.
I can recall going to school, elementary. I ain't gonna say what year that was though. But I can recall walking to school, and y'all, it was a walk, it was a walk. But I remember one of the girls, one of my classmates at the time, she said, my dad keeps saying it's the end of the world. My dad keeps saying that the end of the world is coming. So when we say that the times that we live in, are we truly in the end times? What changed from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15, 20, 25, 30? Was it the end times then? Or is it that now we're getting older? Where are we when we say this world is not our home? But what changed from 15, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, however far back we can go? I know the age is different on this channel, and I'm proud of that. But
When
where
you
are
say
we when we need each other?
when you
We're in a
say
time that we need each other. Why?
when you say this world, it can go in a lot of different directions because they do say something about heaven right here on earth, and that heaven will be here on the earth.
But what about when the older folk, the elders of that time, I understand generations are increasing. Where are we today in this world, this now? We about to venture off eventually into a whole nother world. We got children coming up. We got grandkids coming up. Some of us have great grandkids coming up. What type of world are we living in? What are we passing down? Are we passing down a world of unforgiveness, hardened hearts? The world is coming to an end. Change. What was the song Marvin Gaye had however many years ago?
There's many worlds that they talk about in the Bible. We do have a lot of work to do in this world that we're speaking of now.
That is not our home.
Our children do need a lot of change. We do need to give our children a lot of
changes, guidance.
Yeah,
oversee them.
We need to promote.
And we talking about adult children as well, y'all. We not talking about babies. Yeah, those of us who have babies, those of us that have adults.
Approach our children in different ways now because of the world that we're living in now. It can't go on the same way it did with me. It can't go on the same way it was with my mom and my dad.
Generations. It's a change. So how do we continue to be in touch with today's generations? How do we continue to be in touch with, if we do have children, some of us do, some of us don't, how do we continue to be in touch with, if we do have children, for them to be in touch with their children of today? What do we pass down? Because I feel like if you have an ear to hear, we're taking in this conversation, some of us, we are going through some things with our own children. They're going through some things with their own children, the generations. What can we do to correlate the generations throughout the years to bring peace, forgiveness in this world? What is the importance of even family?
Well, family is supposed to be a part of helping the children. It's the family. The people in the families are supposed to support the kids and let them know that there's new changes coming, and they have to keep up with it because everything is moving fast now, and the kids have to move as fast as this world is turning.
So was it really true, like when Whitney Houston sung that song, I believe the children are the future? Treat them well and let them lead the way.
Definitely the future, because the old dies off and that leaves the children. I was one of those children at one time.
Exactly. We were all children at one time. Protect the children. Keep the children safe. Protect yourselves, y'all. Because every day that we step out into this world, it's something new that we're facing, something new to discuss. But we can see the handwriting is on the wall. This world is not our home, and we do have to be safe out here. We don't know what we're going to face from one day to the next. How do we stay protected? How do we stay ready? How do we stay armored up? Stay in the Word. Stay prayed up.
Keep your ears open. Stay prayed up. And try to keep ahead of what's going on.
Is everybody your friend? Some people believe, oh, that's my friend. Oh, that's my friend. Oh, that's my friend.
No,
that's my best friend. We grew up together.
It's not our friends anymore. A lot of people are not our friends because the thing about it takes a village to raise a child. Well, that's not true anymore. Because you never know who's in that village. That's
why I said, we got all this diddy talk. Some of us got diddies right in our own families. Be careful with that. Be careful what you speak on. Keep yourself protected. If you can't keep yourself protected, how you going to protect somebody else? We are to love thy neighbor as thyself. But if we ain't loving ourselves, how the heck we going to love, take care, and look out for somebody else?
Stay strong. Keep your head up. Keep your head on a swivel.
Stay strong in the Lord. And in the power of his might. God is love. But don't be out here. Don't be no fool now. Don't be no fool. Because God ain't make no fools. God ain't made no junk. God is still on the throne. Stay prayed up. As life continues, we shall live on forever and ever. but we got to have a legacy to pass down and to keep it going. What is that legacy? Share something positive, share something that is of help.
Peace be with you until we meet again. Keep on pushing.
Amen.
Keep on pushing.